everybody, welcome to another live stream from the Magic Lamp Vacations team. My name is Brandon. I am the owner and founder of Magic Lamp Vacations, the travel planning genies. You know we love to help families like yours save time, save stress, save hassle, and create extra magic on those Disney, Universal, Cruise, Alaska, Hawaii, Europe. We've really started to expand way past Disney and Universal, but today we are talking about which is better, Disney World or Disneyland. And I thought it'd be really fun to have Derek here. Derek is one of our Disney experts. Derek, I'm really excited about this. So what we're going to do, and I actually switched this on Derek. So actually earlier today, I was like, hey, Derek, we're going to do live, but we're going to talk about which is better, Walt Disney World or Disneyland. And he's like, yeah, that sounds great. And then I was like, I love it. I always ask, can you guys hear us or see us? And I already have a comment from Dustin. We can hear you and see you. Okay, thank you. So I wanted to talk about what is the difference between Disneyland Resort versus Walt Disney World. But I was like, I don't want this to be boring, Derek. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do the battle between Walt Disney World versus Disneyland, 12 rounds, okay? So, Derek, these are the parameters, all right? Every round, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you a topic, and you're going to tell me who do you think does it better, Disneyland or Walt Disney World, and I may or may not play devil's advocate. Does that sound good? Are you game, Derek?
Oh, sounds great. Put me in.
Okay, amazing. So battle number one, round one. Which is easier to get to? Disneyland in Anaheim, California, or Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida?
I'm going to go with Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
What? I was going to say Walt Disney World. Why do you think Disneyland is easier to get to?
Because of the choice of airports. So Disney World, you have basically like Orlando International or MCO or whatever you want to call it. And it's 16 miles away from the resort. Where in Anaheim, you have John Wayne, which is less than 15 miles away. You have Long Beach, and you have LAX. They're all within less than an hour's drive, traffic permitting, of the Disneyland Resort area. Also, you could do something like I did and drive in from a larger airport like Las Vegas or Phoenix or something like that. But generally speaking, I think that the amount of airport choice that you have with Disneyland offers it to get the better price, and you have more options and convenience going to the West Coast.
Well, okay, Derek has some really good advice on this, and I think this is going to be really fun for us to do every single round because I disagree. And the reason why is because, like with MCO, it's 16 miles. It's pretty much like a really easy shot. Whereas like LAX is like, it's just not the easiest to get, transportation. Like you don't have like Mirrors Shuttle, Sunshine Express. You don't have as easy options to get from some of those airports that you do over at MCO. So I think Walt Disney World is just a little bit easier to get to, but I love that you disagree. So more of the story is you can get there. Okay, round number two. Which has better resort hotel options, Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Hands down, Disney World. There's over 20 resort options on property. They're at all different price points. They have a vast selection of like good neighbors. I think Disney World has more to offer the guest staying on site than Disneyland. Also, with the parks just being so spread out, the fact that transportation is included to each theme park from the resort as part of your stay is a plus. And I find the theming overall to be heavier and more immersive at the Disney World resorts versus Disneyland.
Yeah, so if you all are not familiar, Disneyland Resort actually only has 3 Disney-owned resort properties. So you have the Grand Californian, you have the Disneyland Resort. Those are both considered deluxe resorts. And then you have more of a moderate tier with the new Pixar Hotel, Pixar Place Hotel, which if you guys check out our Instagram, they have hidden Pixar characters in the floor, which is really, really cool. I agree, Derek. You know, Walt Disney World has more options, way more price points, a bigger variety of theming for the resorts, you know, and actually, you know, Disney has been doing a reimagining, if you will, of a lot of the deluxe properties. You know, you have the Contemporary Resort, which now has you know, Incredibles theming. You had the Moana theming at the Polynesian. You have the Light Mary Poppins theme over at the Grand Floridian. So I agree. I agree with that one. I think there are more resort hotel options to fit any family's budget over at Walt Disney World Resort. All right, round 3, park transportation. Who has better park transportation, Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
I mean, so I would have to go once again with Disney World.
What? No way! Really? Okay, I'm gonna let you speak.
Because like Disneyland a lot is just walking. Like the 2 parks are opposite each other. I mean maybe performance wise Disneyland is better, but I'm gonna give Disney World the A for effort and the A for like coordinating everything, because that's got to be crazy. It's got to be a very stressful job. You know, 4 theme parks plus Disney Springs plus over 20 resort hotels, where at Disneyland you have 3 resort hotels on property. You have downtown Disney and you have 2 parks right across the street from each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Disneyland because you don't need transportation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because y'all, here's the thing about it. I love this so much about Disneyland because, like, you know, people in general are like not huge fans of bus transportation at Walt Disney World, but there's not really a better solution. Like they have the Skyliner, they have the monorail, and they have, you know, the boat transportation for those resorts that can have it. But the truth is, like, there's no other way to get people from point A to point B. But with Disneyland, all 3 Disneyland resort properties are part of, you know, walking distance or on, you know, downtown Disney. And they built California Adventure in the old parking lot of Disneyland. That is my one of my favorite features about Disneyland Resort is never having to take a bus, Skyliner, monorail, boat, because it just takes down on like your wait time to enjoy the parks. Like you just walk, you just go in and you go out. And life-changing experience staying at Grand Californian and walking right into the park. I mean, for Oogie Boogie Bash, Derek, when we did that, just walking right in through that back entrance was like, I don't know, I felt like a VIP all the way. That was amazing. Okay, round number 4. Maybe I should have saved this for last. I think I'm gonna drag y'all. I think it's too early to do that. I think we need to come back that toward the end. Best overall park. Let's go to best e-ticket attraction. What has the best e-ticket attraction? So if you guys are not familiar with what an e-ticket attraction means, e-ticket, when they used to have a ticket system at Disney World, you know, e-ticket was the most expensive attraction for you to go on. So what attraction do you think is the best e-ticket attraction? I have mine. It's a quick one for me.
I'm gonna have, so my answer might shock a lot of people that know me watching this. Anyone that knows me knows that I am not a huge Marvel fan. I'm not a huge superhero person. I enjoy the movies, but I'm not like, oh my gosh, you know, Iron Man. I think the best e-ticket attraction though has to be Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Because like I said, I'm not a super fan. I rode that ride twice in the same day, and I waited in line. I didn't buy Genie Plus. I did the virtual queue. And wait, that's a lie. My friend bought Genie Plus. But either way, like I rode it twice within 5 hours, and I enjoyed it even more so the second time. So for the Imagineers to take something that I personally am not super passionate about and make me excited to ride it again is impressive.
Okay, heard. Do you have any idea what I'm going to say?
I don't.
Okay, we have one person that said Star Wars. Someone else said yes, Derek. Guardians is the best. Indiana Jones at Disneyland for me is like one of my favorites. First of all, the movies itself are sentimental because my grandparents showed it to me. And by the way, they showed me Temple of Doom when I was way too young. Because if you guys have not seen the Temple of Doom, literally the guy pulls out the person's heart. And I think I was definitely like 7 or 8 years old. Like I should not have been watching that movie at that age, but I digress. I love Indiana Jones. It is just one of the most amazing attractions ever built. I am nervous and excited about the potential of it coming to Animal Kingdom and replacing Dinosaur, because like I want it to be at least as good, if not better, than what's over at Disneyland. And I'm not sure that ride building is as big. I don't know. I don't know what the specs are, but it's the same ride system, but I don't know if it has the same exact layout or as, you know, Indiana Jones. But Indiana Jones for me is my favorite e-ticket attraction over at Disneyland Resort. I'm trying to think about California Adventure. Spider-Man's fun, but my hands get tired and I'd rather not have to work when I'm doing a ride. it feels a little bit like work to do that. Over at Walt Disney World, I would say Guardians is probably, or Rise of the Resistance. I mean, Rise of the Resistance is really an incredible attraction, but I'm just not a huge Star Wars fan. So I think I'm going to have to say stick with Indiana Jones for me personally. All right, round 6. Best nighttime spectacular. Who has the best nighttime spectacular? Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom at Disney World is hands down, it's my favorite. I grew up with Wishes. I was like a Wishes baby. And when they took it away, I was very upset. And then when they brought Happily Ever After out, I distinctly remember going with my best friend of 10 years. We were celebrating like our 10-year friendiversary. And we got one of the perfect prime spots to watch the fireworks, which is right by the Partners statue. And I remember watching that show and not feeling, it was like it was sort of like when I watch it. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm an actor. I enjoy mainly like Broadway style shows. And that's what it felt like to me. I didn't feel like I was watching a fireworks show at a theme park. I was moved. I cried so much so that a cast member had to come over and ask me if I was going to be okay. So for me, Happily Ever After, the way that they've tied in the projections, the update after Enchantment ended with it going down Main Street, the pyrotechnics are incredible. The storytelling element, which I found not slamming Enchantment. Kudos to people that worked on it. I was not a fan. I found that severely lacking in Enchantment. And so for me, a nighttime spectacular, like hands down, Happily Ever After is the benchmark.
I love Happily Ever After. I actually have a tie. So for me, it's tied. They're both Walt Disney World. It's Happily Ever After, and then the revamped and new Fantasmic over at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah.
Because if you all have not seen the new Fantasmic at Hollywood Studios with Moana, who literally gets into the water and like kicks the water around, and has Elsa, and then you got Mulan. Like it is so good. They did such a good job of redoing Fantasmic. I love Fantasmic. I love that it's easy to find a seat there compared to the Disneyland version, even though it's the original version. And Disneyland's not getting their dragon to come back or it's not going to breathe fire at least. So I definitely think Walt Disney World wins this, unless there's one caveat. If Disneyland brings back Paint the Night Parade, that is one of the most spectacular parades I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how true this is, but the rumor is that they were trying to bring Paint the Night to Walt Disney World for the 50th, but the floats were too big to actually turn and navigate through the Magic Kingdom park. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I heard. But Paint the Night Parade, if that comes back, that thing is amazing. All right, round number 7, best table service restaurant.
You're gonna make me pick. Okay, question. What are we basing this on? Does this involve character meals, and does it involve menu options?
Oh my gosh, let's do one character, best character, and then tell me your best non-character meal.
Okay, that helps immensely. So best non-character meal for me, it has to go to Blue Bayou at Disneyland. I ate there with a dear friend back in December of 2022, and it was one of the best meals I've ever had at a Disney park. I ordered the Monte Cristo because that's what they're famous for. It's like breakfast, lunch, and dessert all rolled into one sandwich, and my taste buds didn't know like what to do with themselves. But the setting is incredible. For those of you that haven't been to Disneyland, it reminds me a lot of the San Angel Inn and Epcot. In terms of like lighting and the fact that it's like on the border of a water ride. And it was really fun to hear people screaming as they went down the waterfall for pirates, while you were eating. Like that was a fun element to it. And our service was incredible. I was going through a really rough personal time, and I got some very upsetting news during the meal, and the cast member was our waiter was incredibly considerate and kind and made sure I got everything I needed. So that's number 1 for me. Non-character. Character has to go to Artist Point at Disney World at Fort Wilderness. For a number of reasons. Number 1, for those 90s babies like me who grew up with the Disney Renaissance, we were also spoon-fed, Snow White and Cinderella. And we really, anyway, like, I think it's really fun when I can find those classic Disney characters to interact with. And this is one of the only places that you can interact with the Evil Queen at Disney World on a regular basis. And I found the menu to be quite good and the food to be a step above what I'm used to getting at Disney. And the piece de resistance is the huntsman's box that they bring out to you, and it's got dry ice, and they open it, and it's got fancy chocolate bonbons in it that they tell you to pull out your phones so that you can capture social media stuff, and then you eat it out of the box. You don't get to keep the box, but it's fun.
Yeah, so actually we have a couple of people that agree with you with Storybook Dining. We have someone else that mentioned San Angel Inn or the Brown Derby as theirs. And a couple of people said Ohana. They really love Ohana because of Stitch and the Hawaiian bread and everything else in the morning. So I'm actually going to go over to Disneyland for character dining experience.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Princess Adventure Breakfast at Napa Rose. I know that everyone screams amazing things about Cinderella's Royal Table and also Ashkrishus over at Epcot. I'm telling all of you, the best princess meal in all of the land is at DCA, and it is at Napa Rose. I have never had such amazing food as what I had there, nor have I had such incredible character interactions with princesses over there. It was a good thing you weren't there when I went, Derek, because you've been very disappointed because Ariel did not have her sea legs that day.
Darn sea witch.
Yes. So, like, I think she was supposed to be there, but they're like, we're sorry, Ariel doesn't have her land legs or sea legs or whatever today. So, but those, if you guys have not seen the reels that I put out or the social media things from that character, that breakfast, it was truly spectacular. And I've never experienced anything like that at any Walt Disney World park worldwide. And I've been to Shanghai and I've been to Tokyo Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Sea. It was really amazing. In terms of table service restaurant, I actually forgot about Blue Bayou. And like, I was like, oh, that's a really good one because I love Blue Bayou. I really do love Blue Bayou. I actually think, and this actually surprises me that I'm even going to say this because I haven't eaten there in a long time, but I do love San Angel Inn. Like, I love Mexican food. I love the pollo a la rojos, I think is what it's called. So good. I love dining the perpetual moonlight with the Mayan. I think that one is a really good one. I do like the brown derby, but I don't think it's the best. I would also say Jico. If you all have never eaten at Jico over at Animal Kingdom Lodge, it is better than Victoria and Albert's. I'm telling you all right now, it's better than Victoria and Albert's, and it's not as expensive. And it's just an amazing and exquisite dining experience. I would also say a lot of people say the food is not as good as it used to be, maybe at Be Our Guest. I disagree. I still think the food is good.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, I ate there recently and I thought the food was delicious. And it is truly one of the most immersive dining rooms that feels like it's straight out of a movie. So I feel like Be Our Guest needs to be mentioned too. By the way, if you are watching this, if you're not watching this on YouTube, we have a lot of these dining reviews on YouTube. You guys need to go check out our YouTube channel. And if you are watching this on YouTube, then go check out the other videos later. Okay, so next one. Best character experiences. So this is not dining. I want to clarify this. This is which resort do you think does better with showcasing variety of characters and providing character interaction experiences?
This is rough because my favorite character experience is at Disney World. So I'm trying to think objectively overall.
Is that because you get to go meet Ariel and she has on her fins?
Ariel in the grotto. Let me tell you, that character meet and greet is a tradition. And I just went back to Disney World in May. And the first thing I did when I got off that plane is I bought Genie Plus and I booked the Lightning Lane for the character meet and greet to meet Ariel because that was the first time that I had been back since COVID where she was back. So I was super stoked. In fact, I have a picture of my dad and I on my 21st birthday party with Ariel. Like, so it's a big deal for me. Like, she's my favorite princess. However, if we're going for overall character interaction, the genuine surprise, the variety, I'd have to go with Disneyland. You don't have to really line up per se for a lot of the characters. You can see them walking around. When we were there in September, we saw Mary Poppins. We saw Red from Pirates of the Caribbean. Someone just posted that Red and Jack Sparrow had like a sword fighting duel on the balcony of the Dreamland suite above Pirates of the Caribbean like a couple days ago. So it's like meeting a celebrity like on the street, which is really cool and magical too, because you're not expecting it. It's not something that you have to schedule. And it seems more genuine. So I think overall, my favorite experiences at Disney World, I'd have to go with Disneyland.
I would agree. And I think you really summed it up pretty good. For those of you who are not familiar, Walt Disney World, the character meet and greets are very much organized. You get into a line, they have set times, set places. Disneyland, they have some set times, but there's a lot of roaming surprises. and the characters don't stop. So like you have to interact with them as they walk and be quick and take a picture. Like they do not stop. And that's part of what Walt wanted, was that the characters would inhabit Disneyland as if they actually lived there. And so they're walking around like normal people. And so they really don't stop. So I agree. I think Disneyland is better for that. Okay, what is the best quick service restaurant, Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with Disney World, Magic Kingdom, Columbia Harbor House. And here's why.
Are you a seafood person?
I will eat fish. But they had at least when they first opened, I should have checked the menu before tonight. They had a pot pie that was really delicious. And you can get broccoli. So for someone like me who likes to eat a little bit healthier in the park, and still have like generous portions, I found them to be the best. So that's why they win.
Got it. I think I might surprise people. My favorite quick service restaurant, I have two. One is going to be Flame Tree Barbecue at Animal Kingdom, because I love barbecue, and they have amazing like pulled pork and macaroni and cheese that is delicious. I mean, anything from Flame Tree is going to be delicious. So that would be number one. And then I also love Satui Canteen in Pandora, the world of Avatar. I think that is really, really good too. So those are my two favorite quick service restaurants. So both Walt Disney World. Oh my, I forgot though. Disneyland has, okay, so when we were just at Disneyland, Derek, I had a hot dog from award-winning, I feel like they might want to change the name. It's called Award-Winning Wieners. And the hot dog was like, I don't know, it was like such a high quality hot dog, and like the bread was high quality, and like the fries were like special, like real potato. I don't know. That was really good. It's one of the best hot dogs I've had in a really, really long time. So that's almost making me rethink. Someone said, yeah, Yak and Yeti is good for table service for sure. Okay, best snacks. We have 3 left after this. We're almost done. So what is the best snack? Walt Disney World or Disneyland?
I would go with, I'm going to go with Disneyland, and I'm going to go with the sundae, the Firehouse Dalmatian sundae from Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor. When we were back in September, my boyfriend got this, and he had a specific request to have extra hot fudge on this thing. Not only did they put extra hot fudge, they put it on a bed of fudge. So it was like a waffle bowl filled with hot fudge with the ice cream on top, more hot fudge, whipped cream, and a cherry, and there was also like a cookie or something. It was so much food, and for the price, I have never seen a bigger snack at Disney, ever. I think it was like $8.50 after tax, and you could feed 3 kids off of this thing. It was so big. In fact, he didn't finish anything, and that was with my help. So, I have to go with the sundaes from Gibson Girl at Disneyland.
I would have to go with Disneyland too. But it's by a hair. So everybody who knows me knows that one of my favorite snacks at any Disney park is going to be the Jack Jack Cookie Num Num. And it's a deep dish chocolate chip cookie, and the chocolate chips literally melts in your mouth. And they have one over by Pixar Pier, over by the Incredicoaster. And then they have it by Pixar Place over at Walt Disney World, right outside of Toy Story Land. And fun fact, Disneyland would not give the recipe to Walt Disney World. The Walt Disney World wanted to bring it over, and they wouldn't give them the recipe. So Walt Disney World had to create their own recipe. And I think Disneyland's recipe is a little bit better. just a little bit better. So that would be mine. All right. So best for the holidays, Derek. Best for the holidays. Who does the holidays better? Walt Disney World or Disneyland?
This is hard.
For me, this one's really easy.
Okay. All right. I would say if you're looking for exclusive, like extra magical experiences, Disney World. Simply because Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and now the Jollywood Nights over at Hollywood Studios. They also have the Festival of the Holidays, which is not hard ticketed, but it is something that is a limited time. It's a limited run at Epcot. And they also have the Candlelight Processional, which is a beloved tradition for a lot of people. So now that I'm talking, I think my answer is clear in that it's Disney World. I have done both the Christmas party and Mickey's Not So Scary. Did not get a chance to do Oogie Boogie when we were out there because of tickets. Buy your tickets in advance, people. It's bad to wait. And I can honestly say I've never been bored at Mickey's Not So Scary. I know there are some people who say that once you've done it once, you don't have to do it again. In my opinion, that's not true. The Hocus Pocus live show is the best thing that Disney has ever done.
Yes, I agree with that. I do agree. That is the best stage show that Disney has ever put out, is the Hocus Pocus Villain Spectacular, for sure.
It is beyond anything. And they do it, I think, 5 times a night at least.
3 times a night to the start, and then when it hits towards the middle of October, they do it 4 times a night.
Okay. And fun non-Googleable fact, if you wait till the last show, usually when they say it's the witching hour, it is actually midnight. So I think generally speaking, Disney World is better.
So I kind of cheating. So I think Disneyland does Halloween way better, minus the Hocus Pocus show. I think when you look at, like, Disneyland has its own fireworks show at Disneyland Resort, which you don't have to pay extra for. Has the huge Mickey jack-o'-lantern and the Mickey, the different pumpkin heads with the different characters above the entrance. And then you have Oogie Boogie Bash, which to me is like the best Halloween event that's ever put out, is Oogie Boogie Bash. The only thing I was disappointed at this year is you couldn't see the Queen and you couldn't see Maleficent. Like, those are 2 staples that I really love seeing at Oogie Boogie Bash. But I think overall, I think Disneyland does a better job of Halloween. Hands down, you can't touch Walt Disney World for Christmas. I just don't feel like you can, because you have 4 parks. Every park has its own decoration to match the park, their own huge iconic trees, all the different trees inside the resorts. You have 2 hard ticket, holiday events, Jollywood Nights and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, plus Festival of the Holidays, the Cookie Stroll, and then you have, and then of course you have the Epcot's narration.
Candlelight Processional.
So Disney World, just to me, for the holiday season of like Christmas and New Year's and everything, just trumps it. All right, so now we're down to the last 2, which one of them we actually bumped down. So this is the hard one, Derek. Okay, we're gonna ask you which resort has the best park, and what is the best park out of all the parks, and which is the best overall? Is it Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Oof. Okay.
All right. So first of all, best overall park. What would you say is the best overall park? Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Now, when we say overall park, do we mean the 4 and the 2, or just 1 and 1?
No, I mean, like, literally pick one park. Like, literally pick one park, either from Disneyland or Walt Disney World, that you think is the best out of all 6. Okay. We're leaving out the water parks.
Okay, perfect. I think, so here's where my nostalgia and my emotions come into play, because my park will always be the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. That's where I went as a kid. That's where my family and I have always experienced Disney together. Um, for me, that is Disney, and I've been now to all 6 parks in the United States. I did not visit Disneyland until 2022. Um, and I love it. I love the fact that it's the park that Walt built himself. Um, but I think for me, it's the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. Um, the castle's bigger, the fireworks are bigger. Which fireworks, Disney fireworks for me is for some reason a huge thing. I also generally like the diversity of the rides. I love New Fantasyland. I love what they did with um, Enchanted Tales with Belle, which is like a super unique experience that I love doing. I just, for me, if anyone was like, you have to go to one Disney park for a day and that's all you get this year, it would be the Magic Kingdom.
Okay. All right. Heard. Got it. My favorite is Hollywood Studios.
Good one.
That surprises a lot of people, but I love old Hollywood. I love how it lights up at night with all the neon lights.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge fan of I love the Indiana Jones stunt show. It's super fun. I do, even though I said Indiana Jones is my favorite ride, like I do love Rise of the Resistance. I think it's fantastic. I am still a little bit sad that the Great Movie Ride is gone. Just being honest, but it's so funny because when I think about attractions, maybe Hollywood Studios doesn't have all of my favorite attractions, but as far as like the feel of the park and how special the park is and the Imagineering behind the park, I've always had a unique love for Hollywood Studios, for sure. For sure. All right. Best overall. You get to choose Disneyland or Walt Disney World. Where are you going and why?
I think for me, Disney World still wins. Simply because the diversity of what you can experience there. I find when I go to Disneyland, I miss Epcot terribly. I like the different hotel options, and really, a Disney hotel is an extension of the parks, so that's why I'm including that in the judgment of this. I think too, it's just easier to fill a week at Disney World. You can actually fill more than a week at Disney World and still not see everything. Disneyland is great as like part of a SoCal adventure, or if you want to do like a shorter trip. Personally, like I would find it really hard to fill a full week at Disneyland if you were just doing the parks, unless you wanted to ride, Pirates and Haunted Mansion like 50 times. Which I would. Haunted Mansion is my favorite ride. But what else can I say about Disney World? The weather seems to be a little more even keel at Disney World. So the one time that I was in Disneyland, the first time I visited, it rained every day. Which it was the winter in the middle of the Mojave Desert. So maybe,
that's not
that.
normal, by the way. Normally Disneyland doesn't get a lot of rain.
Yeah, this was the beginning of that strange atmospheric river phenomenon that happened at the end of last year. But it rained every day. It actually did get chilly. Like and I know Florida gets chilly too, but like it got downright cold at certain points. So that's my pick, is Disney World. I think if you're looking for more adventure, if you're looking for more things to do, if you're looking for more food options, variety at Disney World.
Yeah, I think you spoke pretty eloquently in that regard. I think if you're looking for more options and more things to do, it's definitely Walt Disney World. I think too, if you've been to Walt Disney World a bunch, I think you have to go to Disneyland.
Yes.
I think way too many people, because they've been to Walt Disney World and they know it's bigger, they know there's more options, they just keep going back to Walt Disney World. but you need to give Disneyland a chance because Disneyland is incredible and has so many things that Walt Disney World does not have that you cannot experience anyplace else. And it was the original theme park that Walt actually walked and built. He started Walt Disney World but didn't finish it, but his spirit and everything is at Disneyland. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people need to do is go and visit Disneyland.
Also, can I say one more thing in favor of Disneyland?
Yes.
So I know we have a lot of families with like younger children that are really into Pixar and the newer generation of Disney. And while Disneyland, Fantasyland has a lot of our nostalgic favorites like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Peter Pan's Flight and Snow White, California Adventure has a lot of the newer generation of Disney. So you've got the Incredicoaster, you've got San Francisco, you have Marvel's Avengers Campus, which is unique to Disneyland. And then you have the new Pixar hotel that's opening very soon. So generally speaking, for our younger guests, perhaps Disneyland has more to offer. And then Disney World is better for people like me that are 20 somethings 30 somethings that are looking to fill their Disney adult need for a full week.
I love it. Very well spoken. A lot said. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this. You guys know we go live every single Wednesday. I don't remember what the topic is off my head next week, but last week we talked about Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines, which is really, really fun. Thank you so much for joining us, Derek. As always, make sure if you guys are thinking about planning a family vacation, whether it's a cruise, Disney, Universal, we have a variety of planning packages that are good for any budget, and we can do as much or as little as you want us to do. Derek is your guy if you want to do Disneyland or Walt Disney World. He also loves to do Europe too. So if your castles are your thing, he can help you with that. Thank you all so much for watching and have amazing, amazing, amazing rest of your night. We appreciate you so much. Derek, do you have anything else you want to say before I sign off here?
No, this has been great. It's been a lot of fun. It's hard. It's hard to pit two of my favorite places together, like against each other. It's like, apples to oranges in some regards, but no, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We'll see you later.